Hello, it's June 5th, June 5th, 2026. 2026. I don't know why I said either way, same thing. 2 days, in 2 days, it'll be it would have been my dad's birthday. And well, I'm actually doing pretty good. I've been doing really well. We want to do this video for a few weeks now. There's been so much that has happened uh, in the time. And originally, I had a title for it. It was going to be um, "Red Doesn't Always Mean Red," READ, and and just moments ago, I was eating before I did this, and I know how I am. I know that I can't just. I have a hard time just staying on the same thing, and it's just not what I do. It's just not who I am. Um, I can talk. We would talk about guitars, and we could talk all day long, music, piano. But see, right there, I'm already going into other stuff, and so um, so while I was eating before I did this, I realized that because of something that happened today, um, and and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna title this "Lessons I'm Learning," and the reason is, um, and what I thought I was gonna start with, I'm just not because I'm really excited about what happened today, and because it's huge growth for me. And before I go into it, and why I'm gonna do it this way is because um, I have gotten uh, various feedback from people that um, they just like the way I tell a story, and or I share my thoughts, and it's weird for me. It's a weird concept. My friend in Brazil, Rafael, uh, he's really helped me with a lot of stuff. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and stay on what I'm trying to talk about, but I I was oh, different people have talked about me, how I share a story, and I bring light to it or color, and like in 2016, I read the Bible in a year. I've already shared all this, and and in 2017, uh I I didn't want to just say I read the Bible. I wanted to understand. I wanted to I wanted to be better. I was trying to break walls. I was trying to break out of what I had built so strongly, and I was just having a really hard time until after my dad passed, and everything just shattered. But again, shared all this stuff. So but my prayer was that God would help me to understand what I'm reading, and and people would share, like, I had a friend, he had shared something on Facebook. I had just got done reading. It was something in Second Kings, and earlier in the day, and a friend had posted something, and on the very thing I had read on, I was like, oh, that's what that, like, it brought it to life to me, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. And and so throughout 2017, I would have instances like that, and then throughout, because I've gone through, I'm going through the Bible again right now with another friend. She watches these sometimes, and um so I've had instances where things will God is answering my prayer. He's still answering my prayer, and so my friend Rafael has been helping to bring color to stuff. See, I've gone off topic, and so well, I guess I haven't, but so God is still answering my prayers, and because I have leaned in my faith after my dad passed because uh um well it was we already know my story. And if you don't, well then go back and watch. But because I've already, and I'm just not taking the time to do all that. I've already done it. So the fact is God is still answering my prayer. My prayer from 2017, almost at 16, 17. And so so going back before this, we were helping out at a church, and and it's where a lot of my, not a lot, well, it's where a lot of my church hurt has come from. And I've realized, see, this is how awesome God is. And I have since kind of talked to this person, my old pastor. Well, yes, he was my pastor, kind of. We were helping out at church, however you want to look at it. And I'm still very much part of the one church that I was part of since the 12. Anyways, so age 12. But he had noticed something in me, and he said, Keith, you need to start talking uh about your, like, if something's bothering you, you need to talk about it. And I didn't know how to. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm fine." But I wasn't fine. And I was upset, I was hurt, and I was angry. And so when it finally, and he told me, he said, Keith, you're gonna bottle stuff up so much, and then you're gonna blow up at someone that you don't mean to. And which I had already been doing. It's just the ego in me was whatever. And he was legitimately trying to help me. And and everyone, like, yes, there could have been a lot of different, there could have been a lot of things that could have changed, but I've come to realize that a lot of those issues were because of how I would do things. And so where I'd put blame, and I'm not saying there was, both parties were innocent. There were things said on both sides. But again, I'm coming to a realization that I'm taking accountability for a lot of my actions. And so I told him, after my dad passed, um, I said, I still think about what you told me. It's something that's still, and I didn't know until today. Like, well, not, I've been knowing, I've been, mm, I've been pondering, been reflecting. It's been in my mind. I don't, I'm lost for words right now. And so it's been in my brain. I've thought about it, and, I'm really trying to, um, and I'm really trying to help. I'm really trying to. I, I mentioned the older lady that gave me a hug like a day or two after my dad passed. My wife took me to go get some clothes, and I broke down. And I've really been trying to uh, harbor that. I want to strengthen. I want to be that to other people. And so uh, I've recognized a lot of my actions, a lot of my a lot of the ways I would go about things. It's very easy for me to destroy someone. Very easy. And I don't want that to be easy anymore. I don't want that to be my go-to. Uh I don't want that to be easy. I don't want that to be what I do. I want it to be, I speak life, and I encourage, and and more than anything, I want them to be directed towards Jesus. I want my actions, my words to draw someone closer to Jesus. And bottling stuff up and waiting until it just is not drawing anyone closer to Jesus. It's not. And it's not scriptural. It is not biblical, whatever you want to say. I, I don't mean whatever. This is very serious for me. But that is not the way to be uh, Christ-like. That is nothing about that is Christ-like. He literally healed someone's ear that one of his disciples cut the ear off when they were taking Jesus to go and Jesus knew he was going to be crucified. He knew it. He knew why Judas betrayed him. He knew that he was going like he knew what was about to happen to him, and he healed the guy's ear that had it cut off. Even though he knew that that guy was still going to take him into custody, he healed it. So me blowing up at someone is not Christ-like. It's not. So today something happened, and the situation is irrelevant. But I got to thinking about it though. I'm going into the weekend, and I thought, man. So I started thinking. I thought, if I go into the weekend, I'm going to start. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to start thinking about it, and I'm going to start creating stories. I'm going to start. I'm going to make it into something. It probably isn't even accurate. So when later in the day, I work early. So when time came, and I saw him, we were alone. We were in the shop, and I said, "Hey, man, I got a question." I said, "Serious." I said, "Earlier, I was talking, and you said, I'm hilarious, and I make everyone laugh, and you had kind of alluded to, you're an idiot, you're stupid, like." And I don't remember exactly. I don't remember exactly what he said. He's like, "Keith, no, now you're making me feel bad." I said, "No, I'm not trying to make you feel bad." I said, so I told him I said, I'm trying to work on something that is a legitimate issue for me. It's an issue that I will bottle things up, and he has seen me do this stuff where I blew up at someone at work, and like everyone knew, and so um I said, I'm just trying to prevent. I'm trying to stay on the course that I'm on. And if I allow myself to go into the weekend without addressing this, I'm defeating what I've been trying to work so hard on. And he gave me a hug, and he said, "Keith, no." He said, "I'm so sorry." He said, "I didn't mean it like." I said, "No, you don't have to apologize. I just wanted to understand." I said, "I didn't take any offense. But if I'm coming off as looking foolish or ignorant or whatever, then I'm defeating what I'm trying to achieve, and I need to work on that." And because people, myself included, people need to understand constructive criticism is okay if it's done in the right way. And yes, I went to him, but if I'm doing something wrong, I want to fix it. And that's a big problem in this world, man. People they want to keep on pointing fingers, and they don't want to take responsibility for something they've done. So so I didn't want to. I was trying to prevent future issues start bubbling, and I start getting angry. I start, whatever. I'm not allowing it. I'm not feeding that. And yes, I know I'm going to fail at times. I know I'm going to mess up. I know, but it's taking these kind of measures, stuff I'm learning, and I'm gonna share. This is the journey after my dad. This is where I'm at today, and I love who I'm becoming. I love it. I wish my dad could see who I am today. My mom has given me so many compliments. early on, she's like, Keith, there's a boldness coming out in you that she's never seen before. So, and I would obviously love my dad to see that, but I couldn't be who I am today without having gone through all that. I couldn't. And, and so many people miss out on growth that they could have if they would just keep fighting and keep pushing through those battles. So I absolutely I shared in one of my earlier videos, and you know, Man of Faith 2, 3, 4, one of those, I don't know. It was an early video. There was a song, Sasha Allen, Alex Sloan, Me Again. I just wanted to be me again so badly. That's all I wanted. And and my mom said, Keith, you might not ever be you again. And and I'm like, I just want it. That's all I want. That's all I want. I want everything to be the way it was. Everything, and it couldn't be. And that's gonna bother me. And I'm sorry. I didn't mean. Um, this is me. This is who I am. um, and I just couldn't imagine not being who I was. I thought I loved who I was, and I did. I did. But there was a lot upstairs that I was fighting that I didn't talk about, I didn't share, I didn't stuff I pray about, stuff God, I didn't, I didn't trust, like, I didn't trust people. I didn't, it was, I caused a lot of my own issues. I did. And, I'm learning all this. This is stuff I'm learning. And, yeah, so it just felt good to just address the guy. Hey, man, I mean, what you mean? And everything's cool. Everything's good. I'm going into the weekend. This is amazing. It's gonna be great. Beautiful outside. It's great. And and so that leads me to the other one that I was wanting to talk on a couple weeks ago. And like I said, I've gone through so much. It's 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 almost overwhelming at times. And I'm processing. I'm trying to adapt. I'm trying to hardwire upstairs, and but what I originally wanted to talk about, red doesn't mean red, READ. And so my daughter, teenager, was telling me, Dad, Mom, what she was talking to us. We're close knit family. That's who we are. My mom and dad, all of it. We're just close knit family, and so we talk. We have conversations. Wow, shocker, right? Imagine that. Talk to your kids. If you're not doing that, you need to. If you have kids, I'm telling you, my daughter's such a blessing to me, such a blessing. Uh, I wrote in her baby book, I'm gonna make it to heaven because of her, and and that was back in 2009, and I knew there was a lot. I knew I had a lot of stuff going on, but I knew that she was gonna help be a driving force in making me a better person, and she has. There's words I would say that aren't politically correct or acceptable or whatever, however you want to say it. And yeah, I grew up in the 80s, and 90s. There was words that people would say that, and she's kind of helped me to, hey, Dad, that can be offensive. And but she's done it in such a way that's like, I guess I didn't think about it. It was so ingrained, and we never meant anything by it. But I could see how they could be hurtful to other people. So if you have kids and you're not talking to them, shame on you. You need to talk to them. You need to listen to them. You need to have You need to have conversations with the kids. I'm just telling you, like, I threw that in for free, but I'm just saying. Um, so she had this teenage drama stuff going on, and sent a text message to someone, and um, they left me on red, READ, and At no point am I talking about the color red. R-E-D. At no point in this, so let's just get that out. It is never going to be the color red in this. And I said, Dad left me on red. And I'm like, maybe they forgot. And maybe they saw it, they didn't know how to answer. No, they left me on red. And I've heard a lot of the Gen Zers, and probably other people too, say they left me on red. And and I was like, whatever. And until a couple months ago, that happened to me. And and uh and so it was a friend of mine, someone that I met from my new church, someone who came in and was preaching. And this guy's amazing. He's awesome. If he watches this, dude, I love your preaching. I love it. And I love what you say. And well, Dean, brother Dean. And so uh you know, so he's shared some stuff. He's been vulnerable with me. He's opened up to me pretty quickly, which was shocking to me, and I was like, wow. And so he he started doing these articles. He said, "Hey Keith, just let me know what you think of this. Just read it and let me know." I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna read it and I'm gonna let you know what I think. And so I care about this guy. I love him. He's a great man of God. And so so he's done this a few times. So I did a video that was uh at some point, well, a couple months ago. And but it was one that was touching on some of my dark times. And I had a really hard time. I had a really hard time posting it. It was very vulnerable. It was a difficult it was a very difficult video. And I was like, I've been really afraid of sharing stuff. Uh but it's like I can't be quiet. And again, I've already shared all this stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna reach out to him. I'm gonna share vulnerability with him. And because I legitimately am having a hard time. I don't know if I should post this. I don't know if I look like an idiot. I don't know if I look like I don't know. I'm afraid. And and I shared it. I sent it to him. Like, hey man, you've sent me a lot of stuff. I appreciate it, and I know that you trust me. So I'm trusting you, and I'm just looking for your feedback. And so he he I see red. Our we already done it. And I'm like, oh, now I'm nervous. I'm like nervous. And the day is over. Next day, I'm like, man, is it that bad? I look, nothing. Next day, nothing. Next day, nothing. So I ended up reaching out to someone else. I'm like, hey, do me a favor. Can you watch this video for me? Just let me know what you think. And it was someone I knew that would get back with me. And I was like, I was hurt. I was like, man, I took all the time and read all this stuff for this guy, and he just like, when you want something, no, screw you. And start making it up in my head. I start creating a scenario that wasn't even true. Well, I see I'm jumping the gun, but I start creating a scenario that this has to be what's going on, and taking past experiences, taking all this other, and I'm like, this dude. So a couple weeks ago, couple a couple weeks ago, he sends me a text. He said, "Hey, buddy, how you doing?" And well, we were out for my daughter's birthday, so I didn't reply. I was out. I'm enjoying, and honestly, I told him we've had a conversation. I told him I said, well, so prior I thought, well, I don't owe you. I don't have to respond. And when I'm out with my family and stuff, I might not respond to you. It doesn't mean I don't love you. It doesn't mean I don't care about you. But in that moment, I was like, I'm not responding because, well, I'm busy and I'm not going to let you think that you have that kind of power over me. Like you have that place in my life. No. So, this was on a Friday. So on Sunday, he sends me a text. He says, "Sheesh, like seriously?" So he probably saw that I read it, and and so oh no, because I didn't even open it. That's what it was. He just said, "Sheesh," and I was like, I just put question mark. I don't know what you're talking about. I said I've been busy. My daughter's birthday was the other day, and he said, "Oh, I was just making sure everything's all right." I said, "Yeah, no, everything's fine." Send, and then I said, "You know what? No, it's not okay. It's not fine." I said, "For you to have the audacity to come over and be like," and I just, I just there. I didn't go scorched earth, but and I send it. He's like, "Whoa, Keith, what's going on? What did I do to you?" And so I sent him a picture, a screenshot. I'm like, right here. You completely slapped me in my face, and I was like, and you think I didn't remember? Like, I'm not playing these stupid games. I'm not doing it. He sends me a picture of his screen. He sends me a picture of his screen. It shows a little bubble, just a bubble. It's a bubble, nothing in it. It was a clear bubble. And he said, "That's all I got." And he said, "I didn't know what that was." And I said, "I don't know what that is." But I clearly saw the text. He doesn't delete my stuff. And I don't delete his. And I hardly ever delete anything. And so I saw the stuff that was before, I saw the stuff that was after, and a bubble in between. And he saw on mine where I sent the video and the message. He never got it. He never got the thing. So he said, so we talked, and yeah, man, I felt like such an idiot. Like I'm like I am humiliated. I feel like a moron. I like he said, "Keith, it's all right, not a big deal." And he shared something he did that was foolish. He said, "That's how we learn, man." And he said, "Don't worry, I'm gonna give you a big hug when I see you." And I was like, I'm probably gonna bury my head in the sand. I was so embarrassed. Literally saw a bubble. He never got my text message, but on my end, it showed that he got it. So he said, maybe next time, just say, "Hey, did you get my text message?" Maybe he forgot. Maybe he got sidetracked. Maybe whatever. It happens to me all the time. I mean, I can't even stay on the same subject. And so I was just like, oh man, I feel like such an idiot. And then I was thinking, man, how many arguments start in the teenage drama type stuff over something that probably wasn't even received, or if it was probably received in a different way. And I just thought, wow, that's insane. But it was a big lesson. It was a very valuable lesson I learned. And I think that's probably why today happened the way it did, because I know from that experience, I started feeding it. This is what he meant. This is what he's doing. And and I know what happened. I I kind of snapped at. I didn't kind of. I snapped. And yeah, man, these are lessons I'm learning. And it's so cool. I'm very blessed. I'm very happy. I love the life I get to live. I love what's happened in my life. But if you asked me 2 years ago, in some of my darkest hours, some of my darkest times, I never would have thought that how I'm talking today would be how I'm talking. Like, I just so badly wanted to get back to who I was because I was comfortable with that version of myself. I'm still not comfortable with who I'm becoming, but I'm going to keep on because I love what is happening. I love the lessons I'm learning. Sometimes it's embarrassing, sometimes it's humiliating, sometimes it's like, really, Keith, come on. But ultimately, I look at myself and, hey, Keith, man, you've come a long way. And one of my team leaders the other day said, because some other situations happened where I would have snapped, where I would have ripped someone up, and the story was being shared, and a guy interjected without going into the whole story because I want to end this. He said, Keith has come so far. He has come a long way. And I talked to him later that day, and I said, hey, man, it meant a lot. And for anyone exercising, when you start, um, no one notices right away. And then as you keep pushing forward, pushing through, people that don't see you all the time start noticing, hey, are you losing weight? Are you this? And then when the people that see you all the time start noticing the changes in your body, um, it's like, all right, it's paying off. The people that see me all the time are seeing the work that I'm putting in. People around me that see me all the time now are seeing the work that I'm internally doing, the work that God is doing in me. And oh man, I got chills thinking about it. Never would I have thought 2 years ago that I would be talking the way I am today. And more than ever, I'm going to bring as many people with me to heaven as I can. And I'm going to spread the love of Jesus. And I love this life. I love it. The ups, the downs sometimes aren't fun to go through. They're rarely fun to go through. Um, but it's those down times, those bad times where some of the biggest growth can happen if you push through. Until next time.